welcome back. Man, boats, sunshine. What a better place to watch it than Canlis dining room and our studio. No. It's not bad, right? We have a lot of professionals that come through our studio, and, everybody's trying to shed light on some of the most important things that it takes to really become a professional. Well, Mark Canlis joins us, and Canlis has 6 decades worth of rave reviews and recognition, including nominations from the James Beard Foundation, the highest overall rating in Seattle from the Zagat Guide, and numerous best ofs from local and national press, among countless others. And it takes a lot of work. You don't just get the recognition. You don't just build a world-class restaurant that is literally world-renowned because you're not a professional at it. Mark Canlis joins us, and first, welcome, Mark.
Thank you.
Did you have fun on Seafair?
I had such a great. I was just. Do we have to talk about restaurants? Can we talk more about Seafair?
Absolutely.
I'm still there mentally.
Yeah.
I'm still a little drifting my head, in the water.
Sure.
Everything's moving, kind of like the boat.
Every once in a while, I see a water balloon just flash into my periphery. I love Seafair.
It's fun, and you're a Seattle guy.
It's just what you grow up doing.
Yeah.
You get the Blue Angels out there, play a little, what is that, Highway to the Danger.
Yeah,
everybody's playing that for like 2 hours straight. Yeah.
It's part of your annual thing.
It is. I agree.
You need to hear it once a year.
Well, a lot of people's annual thing is actually going to your restaurant. Birthdays, anniversaries.
Yeah. Every year, I go.
Do you really? Every year?
Yep, every year. Yeah.
That's so cool.
So you guys you guys maintain rave reviews, you maintain an award-winning restaurant, and I think from a professional side, that's impressive, but a lot of people who are in a service industry, whether it's a professional real estate agent, in mortgage, in finance, I think it's interesting to find the parallels almost in what it takes to really create a extremely professional business that maintains those rave reviews also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you, like any of those fields you just mentioned, you have to do what you love. And we're really fortunate. We had, both my brother and I, Brian, we had the opportunity to come back and work with our parents. We had the opportunity to take a second generation to the third generation, and we just fell in love with that. And I don't think either one of us knew we would, but it's just an expression of who we are as a family, who we are as people. And so,
that really is that when you find that internal passion, it must not feel like work.
It doesn't. The daytime does. The running the business certainly does, and that's full time. But when you step onto the floor, it's a magical thing, and you fall in love with the people that are there that night. You fall in love with the feeling, the energy of the dining room, the various things that they bring to the table, the things that they're celebrating, the things that they, whatever. Just it becomes a piece of community, and you get to be involved in that, and it's a special thing. It's an honor, really. It's pretty cool.
So what are some of those things that you guys have done, to keep people coming back on their most special days? In their little micro communities, right? they're coming to share it with you as much as you're sharing it with them. What are some of the key aspects?
That's the biggest thing. You bring it up, and it's the right way to say it. They're bringing it to us, and I feel like that's the number one thing we have to remind ourselves, is that that's what they're giving us. They're giving us their time, more than anything. Sure, you got to pay for dinner. Canlis isn't cheap. It's not the most expensive restaurant in town, but not only are you paying for dinner, but you're giving us memories that just won't happen again. That only daughter's 16th birthday, or the one night before your wife has a baby, that kind of thing. So what we try to do is just remind ourselves.
You guys got spicy food or something that one night before the baby?
Eggplant or whatever it is. Yeah, it's like, hey, we can do it. We can make that happen. But we try to remind ourselves just what a big deal that is, and to stay humble about it, and to remember that we got to put the guest in the spotlight, not us. It's not the view or the food or the wine or the service. It's none of those things. It's about what they're bringing to us.
How do you maintain that consistency?
I think it's with the staff. We've got a staff of 92 people right now, and it's full-time training. It's a lot of just building the culture of the restaurant, reminding them where we've come from, and the values that are important to us, and working on those things. And there are more specific things too. We brought Jason Frenney back from New York City a few years ago. That's been a huge success. Such a talented chef, and just really reinvigorated our menu. We've got Nelson DeKipp running the wine program. He's a world-class sommelier, knows what he's doing. So there's a lot of talented people there, and they keep us young. They bring us the ideas. They really invigorate us in a lot of ways.
So you have the product, you have the sommelier, you have the chef, but it's really this people business. How do you portray? How do you get I would say almost every business owner would love to figure out, how do you get your employees to embrace those values so strongly?
Well, first of all, you hire them that way. All I'm hiring for are values. And for us, in order, that's trustworthy, generous, and other-centered. I'm looking for people who get that. I'm looking for people who could survive a road trip with my mom, and if she would not kick you out by the time you got to Chicago or Boston, or even better, if you made it back, you're probably going to be the type of person that we all want to spend time with, and we become like the people we spend time with. So it's really important who we bring on, and we hire specifically for values, training and experience, not required so much.
We're here with Mark Canlis, managing owner of Canlis Restaurant. So you give that credit to the people, the service that they provide, and I guess that buy-in.
It's huge, and honestly, one of the things that I think has to happen is that you have to bring people in who are becoming who they want to become. And the most important thing in an interview is I'll say, how we're working at Canlis help you become who you're trying to become. Because if it's not, I can't recommend that they join the team. And if it is, then you're going to end up being excellent. You're going to end up just invigorated and loving what you're doing. And you feel that. We all do. We feel that at the table when you're having that sort of relationship. And it is. Ours is a business. Hospitality is a business about relationship. It's not a transaction. And you got to have to find people who are trustworthy. I think trust is the basis of any relationship, whether that's your girlfriend or your dog or, I don't know. It requires trust.
Dogs are pretty trusting. What's it like that? At the end of the day, you have all these people who have really, put your values on the forefront of their mind because that is their values also. And they come to your store and they're working at your restaurant. When the floor clears, when everybody's gone, is it just a collective we did it?
A little bit of a letdown.
What's it like?
There's quite a sigh, and then it gets fun. Sometimes we watch crazy movies up in the penthouse. We play laser tag. We play all kinds of games. We play basketball. I've got a court out there in the yard.
Play laser tag in Canlis?
Oh yeah,
That's
you turn
awesome.
off all the lights and you crank up the music, and put the iPod on and we all shoot each other. There's a lot of eating that happens.
You and Mark must get a lot of people coming out.
There could be some drinking. No, Brian's totally into it. Yeah. So it ends up being, you feel like you've done something. You feel like you've sung a concert. You feel like you've given something. And so it might be midnight, but you're definitely on a high for sure. It's a special thing. And there's also just this team accomplishment. Canlis is it in so many ways. And you just pull together with 40, 50 different individuals to pull it off. It's pretty cool.
All yelling corner at each other.
Yes. Behind.
Yeah.
Totally.
Mark, you talk about the team, this community that you guys have within your business, mm-hmm. within the restaurant. How does that extend outside of the restaurant? How does that extend outside of Canlis?
Yeah, the restaurant's been a part of the community for a long time. After all, it is a restaurant, right? So it's a place that brings people together. And I think we have to remember that. I think we have to remember the role that we play in our own community. So we look at our neighbors, we look at Queen Anne, the schools and the organizations that are up there, and we try to be involved in small ways. And you can't say yes to everything, but right now we're doing a matching campaign where we actually do say yes to everyone. And we just say if there's a nonprofit out there that wants to use the restaurant and to support their charity, we'd give it to them at cost. And so that's been really special. We've had about 450 different organizations in the last year come forward and just say, wow, it'd be really cool to use Canlis in that way. And so we try to be in tune with the community as best we can. Knowing they're the reason we're still there. I think that's part of the honor is to say, hey, throw a party. We've done that probably for every major party, whether it's our 10th or 20th or 35th or 55th or 60th birthday. We try to invite people in and share that with them.
Why is that so important to you?
I don't know. I just I feel like there's this neighborhood thing, and I feel like that's what hospitality is. It's sort of making space for somebody else, having room or having margin for somebody else. And I don't think we can just do that for our guests. you have to do that to the city that loves and supports you. And if you're not plugged in that way, you're sort of, I don't know, it feels not genuine to me. Does that make sense? So,
yeah, and in fact, at the end of the last hour, we were talking about, a lot of people, you get involved in the community, whatever it may be, and there's thousands of things and ways you can get involved, and you tend to drive business, organically just from being involved, and it's not like part of the marketing program. No. But it's a reciprocal thing that happens.
It's a relationship. It's a relationship with your city. I mean, literally, there's not a whole lot of fine dining places in town, and so we have an amazing opportunity to meet everybody. At some point, it's going to come through our doors, and I think we have a responsibility to reciprocate that, and where we can. I mean, obviously, we're not a nonprofit, so we can't just spend our time giving the place away every night, but where we can, we like to help.
I bet you'd be busy.
So we probably would be busy. Yes, busy and broke. Maybe that's not so terrible, but no, I just think it's a real honor to be able to engage in the many things that other people are doing, and there's so many. That's a part of the ethos of Seattle. You were talking about what makes Seattle cool, and it's what's happening philanthropically here. It's what's happening with these creative little organizations. Obviously, we've got the big ones that everybody knows about, but there's so much creativity in our own town, and I just think it's a really cool place to be right now, particularly in the last 5-10 years. It's just a part of why people love being here. That and Seafair. That
and Seafair.
Well, speaking of exciting things going on in Seattle and kind of the culinary world, I've been hearing some rumors. I don't know if you can confirm or deny, but Seattle has been named, but not confirmed, as the next spot for Top Chef. They're considering Top Chef Seattle.
It's not confirmed, is it?
It's not. They don't confirm it until they air the promos for it.
Right.
But if you read food blogs, you're a foodie like I am. You've read that people like Anthony Bourdain and Padma Lakshmi have been spotted at Canlis. I'm wondering if there's any truth to that.
Well, look, I don't start or confirm rumors, but that's just where I leave them. So everybody has to have dinner, and when you're in town, I recommend coming to Canlis. Yeah.
Awesome.
After that, I've signed a lot of paperwork, so I can't do it.
Mark, certainly you guys have built not only, as you said, a great restaurant at Canlis, but a great part of the community. And so stick around for a little bit, and we'd love to chat with you a little bit more about community involvement at the end of the show. Canlis might be the top of your list of places to go. There's an online magazine called Seattleite. It'll give you all sorts of other fun places to visit, reasons to go places. Jane Ewan, owner and founder of Seattleite, will join us after this break.